This is the Cynical Bandit, writing up films as I see fit. This time, I'll be talking about Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, based off the children's novel Charlie and the Chocolate Factory by Roald Dahl, who, by the way, was also given credit for writing the screenplay to the movie as well, despite the fact he disowned the movie after some parts of the script were written by David Seltzer due to Dahl failing to meet deadlines. Now, I know the fact that the author of the movie it's based on didn't want to have any connection with the film already gives it a bad impression. But who cares? This isn't about what he thinks of the movie, it's about what I think of the movie. The movie doesn't start with Charlie or even Wonka for that matter, but instead a bunch of kids at a candy shop and the shop owner himself.
How does he do it?
My dear boy, do you ask a fish how it swims?
No.
Or a bird how it flies?
No.
No, sirree, you don't. They do it because they were born to do it. Just like Willy Wonka was born to be a candy man.
Are we talking about how he comes up with the idea for his candy, or are we talking about how he makes his candy? Because if it's the latter, then you could just read the ingredients on the back of the wrapper for starters. Not 5 minutes in, and I'm already pegging at it. Seconds later, the shop owner starts singing as he's giving candy away to the children. Okay, am I the only one here that sees a problem with this scene? There's a grown man giving candy away to children with no parental vision. That's right. These children purposely came to the shop without their parents so that they could take advantage of the shop owner's naivety as he gives his candy out for free. The song ends with the starring character, Charlie, finally showing up at the end of the song, watching from the outside of the candy shop. Is he on a no sugar diet or something? Because he must have seen that all the candy was being given away for free. Charlie comes across a tinker near Wonka's factory, who gives a little explanation about what goes on in the factory.
Nobody ever goes in. Nobody ever comes out.
Yeah, I probably start running too. He arrives home where his mother is taking care of his Grandpa Joe and the rest of his bedridden grandparents. I say the rest because we all know that none of you are going to bother to remember the names of the other 3 grandparents. It's soon announced Willy Wonka has devised a contest where 5 people will be able to enter his factory so long as they found a golden ticket in one of his Wonka bars. But that's not all. One of the 5 winners will also get a lifetime supply of chocolate. Though, who in their right mind would be desperate enough to win such a prize?
When you said just
Shut up, Hofstadter, and tell me where the ticket is.
I am now telling the computer exactly what he can do with a lifetime supply of chocolate.
I can personally guarantee, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the one and only, the absolutely last case of Wonka bars left in the United Kingdom. Shall we start the bidding at £1,000?
Miss Curtis, did you hear me? It's your husband's life or your case of Wonka bar.
I said right mine. Charlie doesn't think he stands a chance of finding one of the 5 golden tickets, and gets depressed, which encourages his mother to start singing to cheer him up. When he is nowhere near her to hear her. Then again, he does seem to be on edge with that look on his face, and the way he's walking so stiffly. Maybe he's hearing her in his head and it's freaking him out. Of course they're going to save him for last. So the first 4 are going to be 4 other kids. We got Glutton, Spoiled Brat, Gumshoer, and Couch Potato. And finally we got...
The 5th and last golden ticket has just been found, right here in Paraguay. The finder is Lucky Alberto Mignoleta, the multimillionaire owner of gambling casinos throughout South America.
Oh. Well, I guess that's that. Now what? There's still over an hour of the movie left. Wait, why is Charlie paying? I know that's what you're supposed to do, but that guy was giving all his candy away for free earlier. Did the guy just now happen to wise up and realize that he should be making profit from his shop? And right around the time he leaves, he finds out that the news of the last golden ticket being found was fake, and that he is the true finder of the last ticket. Kinda makes you wonder what was the point of that fake out, if it wasn't even going to last for 5 minutes. He runs back home in excitement, as you would expect, but not before running into a man calling himself Slugworth, that is supposed to be Wonka's rival, attempting to bribe him by saying he can make things easier for Charlie and his family. Am I the only one that's a little creeped out that this guy just so happened to be there every time someone found a golden ticket. No, seriously, he's there every time. These kids aren't just in one area either. They are from across the world. You can't expect me to believe that he was just in the right place at the right time every time. Was the contest rigged? Is he omnipresent? How did he know when and where someone was going to find a golden ticket? After Charlie tells his family about the ticket and how he wants Grandpa Joe to go with him, the old guy actually gets out of bed and starts moving about relatively easily, despite not having done so in the last 20 years. Well, either that golden ticket has some magical property that healed whatever ailed him, or Grandpa Joe has just been lazier 2 whole decades. The very next day, the two of them, along with the other winners and their plus ones, enter Chocolate Factory, and our race starts seeing strange things beginning to happen before the tour officially starts.
Little surprises around every corner, but nothing dangerous. Don't be alarmed.
I'm sensing red flag here.
Come on, Violet, we're getting out of here.
Oh, you can't get out backwards. Gotta go forwards to go back.
That sounds pretty suspicious. I mean, who would ever design any building that way? And for what purpose? I guess you could just chalk it up to a design flaw, because the room they enter next seems to be harmless enough. And we even get to listen to a pretty good mellow song as well. We also clearly see that only Grandpa Joe is being a responsible adult by sticking with Charlie, while the rest of the parents are too busy stuffing their face to keep an eye on their own kids. Everyone soon sees the strange orange men known as Oompa Loompas. So how much do you pay these guys, Wonka? And do they have their own currency? I mean, just where are you getting them in order to get a whole race of people to work for you?
I said, come and live with me in peace and safety. Away from all the wang-doodles and hornswogglers and snozwangers and rotten, vermicious knids.
So it was an ultimatum then.
And so, in the greatest of secrecy, I transported the entire population of Oompa Loompas to my factory.
It would appear he's not above getting illegal immigrants, if it means cheap labor. And then one kid gets stuck in a tube before being shot up towards the fudge room.
Take Mrs. Gloop straight to the fudge room, but look sharp, or her little boy's liable to get poured into the boiler.
Didn't you say...
Little surprises around every corner, but nothing dangerous.
Don't be alarmed.
I guess it shouldn't be too surprising that he lied. He is a businessman after all. And with 2 less people, the tour continues on a boat with just enough seats for those that are left. This is probably a good thing. A nice relaxing ride on a small boat should take the edge off of what happened. I'm sure the view will seem even more whimsical than what they've already experienced.
There's no earthly way of knowing which direction we are going.
What are you talking about?
There's no knowing where we're rowing or which way the river's flowing.
Okay, you're starting to creep me out here.
Is it raining? Is it snowing? Is a hurricane a-blowing?
Please stop.
Not a speck of light is showing, so the danger must be growing. Are the fires of hell a-glowing? Is the grisly reaper mowing? Yes! The danger must be growing, for the rowers keep on rowing, and they're certainly not showing any signs that they are slowing.
What was that? What the heck was that? This is supposed to be a chocolate factory. Why would you have something like that? What was the point of it? The last thing you should want is to scare or gross out your guests. There is something very wrong with you. Everyone seems to forget all about the scare they had on the boat as Wonka shows them the very product that Slugworth wants Charlie to get for him.
It's everlasting gobstopper for children with very little pocket money. You can suck them forever. Fantastic invention. Revolutionize the industry. You can suck them and suck them and suck them, and they'll never get any smaller. Never.
Isn't that counterproductive? I mean, it's possible that Wonka doesn't care about making much money off of this new candy and just wants to do something nice for those that are less fortunate. But why would Slugworth want it? These things are supposed to last forever, so it's not like anyone would have any reason to buy another one for themselves later in life. If anything, Slugworth would be putting himself out of business if he relied on such a product. After Nerd Kids rolled out of the factory, and Charlie and his grandpa really cut it close, the brat is dropped down the chute. leaving only 2 winners of the golden tickets and their guardians left. Strangely enough, their next vehicle for transportation had just enough room for those that still remained, as if... Nah, never mind. It isn't long from there that Shari becomes the only kid left. But that incident with the stealing earlier comes back to bite him.
You stole fizzy lifting drinks. You bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Grandpa Joe is pretty outraged at this, and plans to give the everlasting gobstopper to Slugworth in order to get back at Wonka. It shouldn't be too hard to find the guy. After all, he seems to be around the corner every time. See what I mean? Though we soon find out that he's not really Slugworth, and actually works for Mr. Wonka. And by giving the piece of candy back to Wonka, Shari passes Wonka's test and wins the prize. It's not just a lifetime supply of chocolate he gets, however. He gets the whole factory. And he and his family get to live in it. Turns out that this has all been about finding a successor for Willy Wonka. And even though he clearly has employees that are trustworthy like not Slugworth, he felt it would be better to find a kid to run the factory after he was gone because...
Who can I trust to run the factory when I leave and take care of the Oompa Loompas for me? Not a grown-up. A grown-up would want to do everything his own way, not mine. That's why I decided a long time ago that I had to find a child. A very honest, loving child to whom I can tell all my most precious candy-making secrets.
Of a completely stupid and short-sighted reason. Even if Shari were to do everything exactly as you do right now, sooner or later he's going to come up with his own ideas on how things should be run, especially when he gets older. And the movie pretty much ends there. It's a bit different from the book, but it's quite enjoyable. It's fun, friendly, and the songs are all very nice and catchy to listen to. They never go overboard with Shari either. He always feels like a real kid, with real wants and desires, which makes us empathize with him a lot easier. Though there's still something about Wonka that I don't exactly trust. If only I could put my... Wait a minute! Oh my god. He's the devil. He is the literal devil. Just hear me out for a sec. His employee that appears every time someone finds a golden ticket, that's actually his familiar. Which is how he's always managing to do that despite the chances. The Oompa Loompas aren't just cheap laborers, but souls of the condemned that he has enslaved. And the reason why every transportation only had just enough room for everyone after someone got eliminated is because Wonka never planned for all of his guests to make it to the end of the tour. That also explains why a scare tunnel would exist in a chocolate factory, because only the devil would think it a good idea to have something like that in a chocolate factory. And now he wants to corrupt Shari's soul. That's why he's giving him the factory, because he wants the boy to grow up to become someone cruel in the name of making delicious sweets. Because there would have been no chance if he had made any of the other kids his heir, since they were already rotten. This isn't Family Friendly musical at all. This is a horror film disguise! Or not. Either way, I brand this movie with an 8 out of 10. This is Cynical Bandit, hightailing out of here.